here, kid. You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, Sanbonani, Absheni, Goeiemiddag. Thank you for joining us today as we gather to remember and honor the life of H.P. Merensky, who was one of us. I am Noxolo Ngcobo. I'm the Human Capital Executive for our house. Are those who find refuge in him. I will call upon Bongani Sugazi, our CFO, to open the service for us in prayer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let us pray. Dear Lord, we are gathered as friends, colleagues, and family to honor and celebrate the life of HP. Lord, we know that we are citizens in heaven, and our citizenship is in heaven, and that we are passing through this life. We are grateful for the life of HP, for the love and memories we shared with him. Lord, help us remember and honor the joy, the life lessons, and love HP brought into all our lives. We pray that you give us strength during this difficult time to keep going and to pull together. We pray that you comfort us, heal our pain during this difficult time. We pray that you protect and cover his family in their hour of need. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
I will now call upon Moseketsi Mpita, our divisional CEO, to officially do the welcome for the service.
Psalm 46 tells us that God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear. Through the earth give way, and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. Through its waters roar and foam, and the mountains quake with their surging. Ladies and gentlemen, we gathered here today to celebrate the life of a beautiful soul, a husband, a father, brother, colleague, friend, leader, mentor, Hans-Peter Merensky, who was affectionately known to most of us as HP. We are grateful and honored, I think, by your physical presence. We do have a number of other colleagues as well that are joining us online and friends. We're also grateful, I think, for the time that you have taken to come and join us in this moment as we bid our beloved friend and colleague goodbye. We have, during the past few days, been showered with the outpouring of love and messages of love and support, I think, from all of you. And we are grateful, I think, for that, and we really want to thank all of you. You really have been a source of strength. As we know, with such sad news, it's often difficult for us to process. I mean, we're still, I think, trying to process those news, I think, up until now. As most of you can see, the picture of HP that's behind me, his lion, a lion was like his spirit animal. And it was, the lion, as we know, is symbolic with courage, strength, leadership, and guidance. And for us, that's who HP was. And for those of you who got a message from him on Christmas Day, he sent a picture of a lion wearing a Santa hat. And when I saw this, I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder what a lion would wish to have for Christmas. Whose blood is it baying for? It was a cute picture, But I would never imagine that anybody would have a picture of a lion wearing a Santa hat. And that's who HP was. Everything that he did, I think, centered around the attributes, I think, of a lion. So as we gather here today, ladies and gentlemen, may today be a true celebration and reflection of his life, I think, as we honor him. Please also allow me to pay our respects to HP's family, particularly his wife and his daughters. We also have in our presence HP's sister and her daughter, Michelle. Michelle, we're truly grateful, I think, for you being in our midst today. As we come, as we celebrate HP, we were his other family. And we wish you to know, and the rest of the family, that your pain is also, I think, our pain. We do know, I think, everybody that was close to HP, that he loved his family immensely. And may that love bind you together as you cherish the many beautiful memories that you created and shared with him over his short life. I mean, he had just turned 50 on the 4th of January. And I think most importantly, HP loved God. So may we all, I think, including the family, I think, find comfort in knowing that he has gone to be with his Creator, and indeed, he is in a better place. To our team, we all know how expressive HP was. We knew the things that he liked, and we knew the things that he didn't like. As we were planning for this ceremony today, it was, I think, very easy for us to make decisions because we were all united, I think, in terms of things that HP loved. We knew that he loved coffee, so we said we'll bring the best coffee so that you can then come and then enjoy that part of what he loved most in his life. As I mentioned, he loved animals, he loved wildlife, he loved food, and we also knew the things that he didn't like. And I think for me, as I was reflecting since his passing, I know for sure, without a shadow in my mind, that he didn't like butternut sprinkled with cinnamon. I think he said this when I realized, I think I heard that 3 times, and the way that he would express it would be, the good Lord has given us this beautiful vegetable, and I don't understand how anybody can come and put cinnamon, in it. And I knew then that if anybody is looking to apply for a position to become a chef, and a question comes up to say, how do you cook butternut? And you say cinnamon, then it's over. So he was, I think, very expressive, I think, in that manner that you knew how he felt and what he liked and what he didn't like. I think we also, as a team, I think, knew him for his famous quotes that he had at the bottom of every email, I think, that he sent. I'm not sure whether each morning when he woke up, he will then have a quote that will put, so it will be a quote, and below the quote, it will be, have a awesome day. Awesome is in caps and is in bold. So that was a standard with him. So as I was going through all the emails that, he had sent, I thought the one that I would like for us as the team to remember and honor HP with is the one that was on the email that he sent on the 26th of November, and it reads, your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your attitude, your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your attitude. And I thought to myself, like, how fitting I think that would be for us as a team. We work in a industry where we interact with people. We always have to bring in our best smile, even in moments where we're not feeling good. We always have to bringing the best attitude, and I felt, as their team, I think there is no better way that we can honor and celebrate the legacy of HP than by trying all our best to always have a good attitude, to have the positive attitude, because that impacts everybody, around us. To our group chief executive, Luvengo, I think thank you very much. I know you had long-standing meetings that had been scheduled, but when I informed you that we will be celebrating HP's life today, you decided that you will want to come and celebrate, I think, today with us, so we're grateful for that. To the executive members, I've seen some of them here. You've been a source of support. You've been giving us encouraging words, I think, throughout the week. Colleagues, I think, from the various divisions, I think within Tiovest, the support, I think, has been amazing, for friends that are coming, outside. So we have different divisions that are housed in this office block. So we are like neighbors, Makelwan, if we know. When, I shared with my colleagues that we'll be celebrating HP, everybody just offered their support. Somebody was saying, I have the chairs. Somebody is saying, I can help you with this. So it's truly, I think, in the true spirit of One Tiovest. You have graciously, I think, accommodated us. And I think, we all know that I think this is our business center. There were people that had these rooms booked for meetings, but everybody was, willing to then reschedule, look for alternative, I think, space to then accommodate us so that we can have this ceremony. Friends and industry colleagues, I think, thank you so much for supporting us through this period. I have seen a number of our friends, our business partners here with us. Thank you very much. I think HP, we all know, he had made a positive contribution to the tourism industry, and we really, really honor and appreciate you for coming and supporting us today. And a special thank you to the team, I think, that made this possible. It was Friday afternoon while we were still processing the news when we decided let's put something together to celebrate HP, and you did an amazing job. And obviously with everything else that we're doing, we still had your daily jobs, late night calls. So from the bottom of my heart, I think I wish to thank each one of you. We need to remember, I think, HP, I think, for the man that he was. So in closing, following a series of personal loss and tragedies, Horatio Spafford said, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever, my Lord, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." God bless.
Thank you so much, Museketi. I think we all agree that HP did embody the characteristics of a lion, brave, strong, and courageous. I will ask James to deliver the eulogy on behalf of Graham Edmund, our CEO.
All right. H, you finally got me in a tie at least. Guys, I'll first deliver the eulogy from Graham. Graham has been with the family in White River for the past few days, and it's taken a bit of a toll on him, so he's asked me to please read it on his behalf. HP, H, Hamilton Patrick, Hans Peter, or Ox. He was a work colleague in 2016 when he joined David Livingstone's Safari Lodge. He then joined the AHA team in operations and became the COO shortly after. As I said, he was a colleague, but after numerous property visits, countless hours in both his car and mine, a few international trips, golf courses, trade shows, meetings, thousands of phone calls, he became a lot more than a work colleague. HP was the most positive person you would ever meet. He always had a smile on his face and a willingness to help others. I'm sure that will be displayed in the pictures that you see of him. There isn't a single one where HP didn't have a smile. His positive attitude was infectious. I have never been much of a talker. That's Graham, not me. And especially not on my phone. So normally, I would charge it at night, and it would last a full day. The last few days, I've had to charge my phone twice a day because of all the outpouring of support that has been received from so many people. This is testament to his attitude, willingness to support anyone, and his great nature. He touched so many lives, and I now understand the extent of it. He was known for his daily quotes, you might hear this a few times today, that inspired collaboration, positivity, working together, lion attitude, even if sometimes they were quite annoying. I know that he'd want the positive attitude that he instilled in all of us that had the pleasure of working with him to continue. So let's continue in that matter in his honor. He loved his job, he loved the people that he worked with, loved the food element, as you are all aware, but his dedication to this brand and this business was amazing. He was always there for anyone, always willing to impart knowledge or a suggestion, always willing to listen and just be there for us during difficult times. I just wish the stubborn bugger would have allowed us to do the same. We had just taken over Nkambeni Safari Camp, and then COVID hit. We had a difficult time with the staff, as they had been through a difficult time. We got news of them coming to strike, and I said to HP, the only way to go and solve this is to go into the community and see the staff. He was the only one willing to join me. As I said, this is testament to his love for AHA, love for the properties, and love for our people. HP loved his family, and especially his two girls. I met the eldest daughter, Erin, on Monday, and due to having spent so much time with HP and how often he spoke about his daughters, it was like I knew her. I took her to say goodbye to her father in the funeral home, and what I can say is that HP looked at peace. Thank you, H, for all that you did for AHA, and thank you what you did for all the people and all that you did for me. I will remember you forever, and I wish I could have been here at AHA to continue that positive legacy that you instilled in this organization. I have no doubt, however, that the rest of the team will carry this out. And if you could just bear with me, H would have never allowed sales to get away and abscond their duties and not say a few words, so I'll say a few words myself. The heart of leadership is connection, and connection is about empathy, curiosity, and emotional change. If you were ever privileged enough to receive an email from HP, you would have immediately noticed something a little different to your normal run-of-the-mill email. Instead of the regular warm or kind regards so flippantly thrown around by each of us here today, HP would end each and every email with a quote of encouragement, such as the one with which I began this tribute. You see, for HP, there was no such thing as a simple sign-off, and a thoughtless regards would just not do. Every interaction for HP was a chance to positively influence or encourage someone, even a seemingly benign email. So each and every day, HP would start his day by finding his new piece of inspiration and then would duly spend the rest of the day ending each email with this phrase, only for it to be replaced by a brand new one the next day. It must have been a tiring task. Who knows where he was finding these pieces of inspiration, but just the mere act of sourcing and sharing these quotes each and every day gives you a small insight into the type of man that HP was. As I scrolled through some of our email chats last night, as I'm sure quite a few of us did, I picked a select few of his quotes to share with you here today. The growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership. Skills can be taught. Character, you either have or you don't have. It always seems impossible until it's done. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen, something he was truly good at. Now, although it could be slightly nauseating to receive some of these emails, some of these quotes first thing on a Monday morning, while we were still trying to wipe the weekend out of our eyes, I think they did epitomize what HP stood for. HP was always looking to uplift people around him and had an unwavering positivity, no matter what the situation we found ourselves in. Perhaps that is what has made it so difficult to accept that he is no longer here. In his work life, he was completely committed to his people and would go to painstaking lengths to ensure that they were being the best that they could be. He would view any underperformance by any of his people, hotels, or lodges not as their error, but as a failure of leadership, and would quickly work with his teams to see how he could assist them to be better. I find it's often the case when listening or writing a tribute that people are fluffed up to be something more than they were. However, through the countless phone calls and conversations about HP over the last few days I've had with so many of you here, I've realized that this would not at all be possible in his case. You see, no one could ever have anything bad to say about HP. He was fully present to whomever he was engaging with, no matter what their rank or title. He was always willing to listen to your point of view, whether he agreed with it or not. He seldom agreed with mine. And he always seemed to get the most joy from other people's successes or achievements, always being the first person to send on a congratulatory email or offer praise for a job well done. His GMs will be testament to that. In fact, HP only had one fault, and that was that he believed that lodge rooms should have televisions. An absolutely ridiculous thought, but one which I believe we can now forgive him for. Hospitality was in HP's blood. Any of you that had the pleasure of traveling with him would have understood this. He would jump up at any chance to fill someone's cup, fix a skew piece of cutlery, or correctly position a cushion on a couch. But more than this, he always wanted everyone to have a good time. In fact, he was so focused on this that he would often come up with wild and wonderful methods to ensure that this would happen. On one such occasion, we found ourselves sitting around the bonfire at Buffalo Rock, enjoying quite a few Bushveld brandies, HP teetotaling, as was the norm with him, and we were reminiscing about the day's events. As the brandy became stronger and the stories a little louder, we discovered that one of our colleagues had never seen a lion. This was completely unacceptable, of course, for someone that was working for a lodge company, and adequate amounts of abuse and beratement were dished out to this colleague. HP, who was of a slightly clearer mind than the rest of us at that time, saw a great opportunity. So off he slipped to his tent, citing some other ops requirement that needed to be addressed. He returned a few moments later with a slight glint in his eye, but not much was made of it, and the evening continued. A short while later, we were suddenly interrupted by an impressive lion call, amazing, and one that felt as if it were exceptionally close to the camp. Excitedly, we all jumped up. Michael was about to see his first lion. With a bit of clip-drift-fueled bravery, we crept to the direction of the sound in the unfenced Buffalo Rock camp and shone the spotlights into the dark bush. There was nothing. After a few minutes, we returned a bit disappointed, but at least we were full of excitement. Just as we sat back down on our seats, the lion roared again, as if it were watching us. This time, we ran a bit quicker to the back of the tent to have a look. Still nothing. Just as we were about to give up on the search, the lion roared, this time right next to where we were standing, which may have caused a few of us, myself included, to let out screams in slightly higher octaves than our masculinity would be proud of. And the lion was in fact in HP's tent, playing from his portable speaker. We turned around to see HP pissing himself, watching us from the boma. Well played, H. The only thing that made HP happier than his people excelling were the accomplishments of his family. He was the world's proudest dad and filled with a bashful pride any time he spoke of his 2 daughters and his wife Rebecca and their accomplishments. HP made it clear that family is the most important thing in anyone's life, and I just hope that his family does know this. To say that you'll be missed is a gross understatement. HP, you've had so much positive influence in so many people's lives. We'll do our best to try and continue your legacy by spreading your positivity and love, and can only hope that you will somehow be there along the way to guide us. To end with a quote that epitomized HP and that many of you would have heard him recite many, many times. It's better to be a lion for a day than a sheep your entire life. Rest well, Ox.
Thank you so much, James. Graham, thank you. Into this part of our program, we will ask the AHA team to deliver their tributes. I will first start with his direct reports. I will ask Javi Nel to come. Then we'll ask Shanil Dina, our group executive chef, and then Andrew Ngwenya will follow next. Thank you. You can go.
Today we gather to reflect on the life and legacy of H.P. Merensky, who left us so suddenly and tragically on the 16th of January 2025. While our hearts are heavy with grief, we take this time to celebrate a life that was truly extraordinary. A life that touched so many of us in profound and meaningful ways. H.P. was more than a colleague, a leader, or a friend. He was a man of great vision and compassion, a person who gave generously of himself to every endeavor and to everyone he encountered. To those fortunate enough to have known him, H.P. was a beacon of strength, integrity, and kindness. Throughout his career, H.P. demonstrated a rare combination of intellect, humility, and unwavering dedication. He had the ability to see the bigger picture while still attending to the finer details. And it was this balance that made him an exceptional leader. No matter how challenging the situation, H.P. approached it with calm confidence, inspiring others to do the same. His wisdom and insight were invaluable, and his contributions will continue to influence the many lives and projects he touched. Beyond his professional achievements, H.P. had an unparalleled gift for connecting with people on a deeply personal level. He saw the potential in everyone and made it his mission to nurture and encourage those around him. H.P. believed in the power of collaboration, and he understood that the success of any endeavor came down to the strength of the relationship behind it. H.P.'s presence was magnetic. His energy, his laughter, and his sense of humor had a way of drawing people in and making them feel at ease. He carried himself with a quiet confidence that was neither boastful nor intimidating, and he had an unshakable belief in doing what was right, no matter the cost. But H.P.'s life was about much more than work. He was a man who loved deeply, lived passionately, and cared fiercely for his family, friends, and community. Whether spending time with loved ones, pursuing a personal interest, or advocating for a cause he believed in, H.P. gave his all. He lived each day with a sense of purpose and gratitude that inspired those around him to do the same. As we reflect on H.P.'s remarkable life, we are reminded of the countless ways he made the world a better place, from the projects he championed to the people he mentored. H.P.'s impact was profound and far-reaching. His legacy is one of the hope, resilience, and unwavering dedication to the values that he held dear. In this moment of reflection, I would like to share a passage from a song, The Lost Boy, by Greg Holden, which captures the essence of H.P.'s spirit. It goes like this: a hero into the masses, to those born without chances. There's a freedom that everyone deserves. I know there's greed and there's corruption. I've seen death and mass destruction. But I'm telling you, and I hope that I'm heard, I will not be commanded. I will not be controlled. I will not let my future go on without the help of my soul. These words embody H.P.'s commitment to living authentically, standing for what is right, and leaving a legacy that speaks to the power of the human spirit. Although HP's time with us was far too short, the impact of his life will endure. We will remember him not only for what he accomplished, but also for what he was, a man of great character, endless compassion, and unwavering determination. As we bid farewell to HP, let us carry forward the lessons he taught us. Let us strive to approach life with courage, to value our relationships, and to never lose sight of the greater purpose that drives us. HP's journey may have ended too soon, but his influence will continue to shape our lives and guide us in the years to come. May your soul rest in peace, HP, dear friend. You have run your final personal best, and it was good enough. There is no more pain and suffering, just comfort. Your memory will forever be a guiding light for those of us privileged to have known and loved you. You will be deeply missed, but never forgotten. Thank you for being our lion leader, our Viking warrior, and thank you for everything.
I'm a lot shorter than everyone else. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shanil. I'm the group exec chef for AHA. We gather here today with heavy hearts to honor and remember HP. Remarkable leader, compassionate colleague, and extraordinary individual. HP was not just a leader, he was a visionary. He led with unwavering dedication, integrity, and a profound sense of purpose. He inspired all of us who had the privilege to work alongside him. Whether in moments of triumph or challenge, HP approached every situation with courage, resilience, and the ability to bring people together, always striving to find solutions that benefited everyone. HP was a person with immense warmth, kindness, and humanity. He had loads of empathy. He saw potential in every individual and believed in fostering the culture of inclusion, collaboration, and mutual respect. His leadership style was not just about guiding the organization, but about uplifting and empowering every member of the team to grow and thrive. HP had a love for food and everything relating to food. So we spent loads of time together. He encouraged all of our teams to be very, very creative. He felt fruit skewers just didn't cut it. So we never have them. Okay, there are countless memories to look back over the years. But one experience stands out the most. If you've ever had the pleasure of driving with HP, you'll know that in your road trip, it was never going to be a boring affair. I never needed the radio, and I was never bored. He always had something to talk about, whether it was about family, about work, about the history of places that we passed. From the moment you got into the car until you left, you were entertained. He would even pause, and he would say to me, he'd say, "Baya, just let me know. Am I speaking too much? Hey? Because I'll stop." I always tell him, "No, HP, don't worry. This is awesome." Because I knew every trip. I learned everything he knew. He shared everything. So as we reflect on HP's legacy, we cannot help but be grateful for the profound impact he had on all of our lives. His influence extended into our hearts, shaping the values we hold dear and reminding us of the importance of kindness, determination, and service to others. Today we say goodbye to a leader, a mentor, and a dear, dear, dear friend. As we mourn the loss of HP, we also celebrate his life, knowing that his legacy will continue. His legacy will continue to inspire us all for years to come. I believe that each of us enter this world with a purpose, and our purpose impacts the lives of those around us. Once our purpose is fulfilled, we leave this world. In my eyes, HP has completed his purpose, and the profound impact he has had on others' lives is evident for all to see. To his friends, family, and loved ones, please know that our thoughts and prayers are with you during this time of profound loss. He always called me Bhaiya, which means brother in Hindi. To him I say, HP, Bhaiya, rest in peace. Thank you.
Sanibona nonke. Ninjani? And I see there's a lot of sad faces here, and I don't have a paper on me. I didn't scribe anything because HP was not my colleague, was my friend. So before I say anything, please stand up, be happy. That's what HP wanted from you. Stand up. Stop crying. Okay. HP was always happy. James just said that if you look at all these photos here, you will not see a single photo where HP was angry and not smiling. All right, I'm not going to cry here, and you are not going to cry. Okay? The next speaker up here, please do not cry. Celebrate HP, enjoy the life of HP. Okay? Thank you, my sit down. Thank you so much. I'm not going to talk about HP as a colleague. I just want to reveal something here, that HP was actually my friend. I have known HP more than 20 years. And I've sat in a classroom with HP for 18 months. I shared a desk with HP. We're doing a development course at the University of Stellenbosch with our former company, which me and HP were at. And it was always happy moments. We will do an exercise, fail an exercise, and on that day, HP will not sleep. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you will get a phone call. But why did we fail that? Why shouldn't we do it this way? That's HP. So all these things relate to what actually these colleagues of mine have been talking about in terms of his work, ethics. And I know one day, I think there's a gentleman called Warren Heifel. I saw him online, and we're doing an exercise somewhere here in Lone Hill, where they were doing a horse training, teaching us about altitude. That's where HP learned altitude, courage, and the leadership. HP went into a crawl, sitting in where the horses were, and picked up one horse. And that horse looked at HP and followed him immediately around the crawl. And Warren Heifel said, HP, you're not going to beat me. He went into the crawl, looked at this horse, picked the same horse. The horse never followed well enough. And up to November 3rd, last year, HP was telling me that story about the attitude of a horse, the attitude of a lion, and he says, a lion will never eat grass, regardless how hungry it is. That was HP. One last story, maybe you can just stop me if I talk too much. HP was not a polygamist, as I am. Okay, he was not. I used to go around, those who are on my Facebook page and my Instagram, wherever it is, you'll see me with HP everywhere. And you can go back after 20 years, you'll see me with HP. Okay. We were in one of the properties, I won't name the property, because I think some of GMs here will call the GM. And when I was there with HP, there were two beautiful ladies came sit with us. And I'm saying, hey, HP, these ones, too beautiful, my man. Today you're going to be a polygamist. HP looked at me, continued with his whiskey. Actually, he changed the drink at that time and we went to Corona. And I know when he started drinking Corona because he wants to disappear. He didn't know that these ladies knew what his room number is. And he disappeared without telling me, without telling anyone who was sitting around the table, who was still in the bar. I'm enjoying a glass of my wine. You guys know I enjoy my red wine. It is a mellow anyway if you want to give me a gift. I'm sitting with these girls. They are chatting and chatting. They are talking to each other. The one says, I know what is his room number. I said, what? And I pretend like I didn't hear that they said they know the room number. And then I quickly SMSed HP. I said, hey, they know your room number. Guess what HP did? He went to reception and changed the room. That's typical HP. And he will tell you, Andrew, I've got only one family. That's my family. And there's nothing he will talk about. Talk about his two daughters. And the last post he posted, in a positive post he posted on Facebook when he was at Alpine recently, he says, our place, our happy place, with my happy people. Always positive, Those who knew HP, those who knew HP like I did, they will know that when HP is quiet, there is a problem. I started talking to HP once after 3 days, 4 days since November because he never spoke anymore. I used to say to HP, stop talking because I need to talk to. You will never stop talking. Even on the phone, I said, HP, I set up the meeting, I called the meeting, I've got the agenda, but he will hijack everything and he will continue. So what I used to do is that I will send him the agenda so that he can read the agenda, think about what I wanted to say. When he starts talking, he'll then follow my agenda and then I will just interrupt in between. That is HP. The other thing the executives here who don't know is that HP was sitting on his phone when you're sitting in those difficult meetings. He will quickly WhatsApp and say, hey, they are saying this. What must I say? That was HP. So you see, I was very, very good friend with HP. Very, very good friend with HP. And I never realized that after posting a picture of HP and myself and say condolences and all those funny things or nice things we say when someone passes away, I realized that I had so many people on my timeline who knew HP. And I'm still reading those inboxes up to today. HP was a hero. HP was a good man. HP was not a polygamist. He never cheated once since I've known him for 20 years. I remember one day we were at Garden Court. Myself, Warren Heifel, very naughty boys, and Craig Kumalo, very naughty guys, took us into a club somewhere, and he ran away, he left us there, but he took us there. You know, his positive attitude and the energy I have, it's around HP. Okay. All what I'm asking you today, let's celebrate him. Let me ask again. The next speaker, please be positive, don't cry. This gentleman wants that, nothing else. Like Chef has said, like Graham has said, like James has said, those two gentlemen, they've analyzed everything I could say about HP. But I didn't want to go there. I just wanted to tell you that HP was a very good friend. HP loved his family. HP is very genuine. If he doesn't want X, he doesn't want X, he will tell you. Like he tells the chef. Chef says, I've got skewers. He says, chef, remove that fucking thing. He will remove it because he didn't want skewers. Cinnamon story, I think everyone knows it. You know, he even changed the questionnaire for the general managers and put a question there that says, what's the question again? About food. What is your best dish and why? He added that question in there on the GM's questionnaire interviews because that's how he loved food. And he added another one to say, do you love bush? If you do or not, why? Because he was talking about his friend Lion. Let me try and close with 4 quotes, which I took from his daily messages. I think Umamu Moseketsi alluded to one of them. The two things in life you are in total control over are altitude and your effort. That's HP. Your attitude and your effort. You can control that, nothing else. You start thinking about his attitude when he sees all these beautiful ladies around him and says, I've got a wife and a kid. They are chasing after me. Let me run away. So he's controlling his attitude. The second one says, don't listen to what people say behind you. A lion never looks back on a small dog barking. I won't explain this one because I know it's sinking into a lot of people. Those who judge will never understand. Those who understand will never judge. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. Thank you very much, HP. Enjoy your life. We'll see you next time. Guys, stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. HP will be happy. HP will be in that kitchen now looking at what food comes out. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. Be happy. This is HP. He loved us all. Don't be sad. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mtimande, Javi, and Chanel. HP had an unwavering ability to make everyone feel valued, special, and motivated in ways that are unexplainable. I will now call on our property general managers, Abel Mukwena from Alpine Heath and Joseph Mkopozi from the Gateway Hotel.
Coming after that speech, I don't know what to say. Mr. Ngwenya, I can promise you I'm not going to cry, but I'm going to come a bit emotional. Okay. Let me first acknowledge our leadership team in-house, my colleagues, and those who cared and loved HP. My name is Abel Mukwena, and I'm from AHA, Alpine Heath Resort in the Berg. I'd like to say what an honor it is to be speaking about the legacy of Mr. M, as I called him, and he hated that. I said to Mr. M, he's like, no man, Abel, stop calling Mr. I'm HP. Same as Graham, same thing. Stop calling me Mr. I think there's a culture that they've built in the organization, in AHA. And I'd like to say thank you so much for the opportunity, Ms. Nell and Vance, who's chosen me to speak here. I lost my mom in 2010 due to cancer-related issues. And my mom was the strongest person that I knew. She wasn't young, but she wasn't old. But most of all, she was a strong, faithful person. And a strong, deep believer in God. And I saw how cancer took her being away from her. The disease was beyond her control. She had nothing to do with it. And I think at that time, after this whole thing sank in and I started to rest because I'm the oldest in the family and my siblings were looking up to me to ensure that I keep the ship going. Once I got a time for myself, it left questions in my life, which I still ask today. How and why? And I guess some of us right now are asking the same thing, same questions. Listen to speakers previously, same question. How? How do we lose someone who is so faith-driven? How do we lose someone who was so God-driven? How do we lose someone who was so mentally strong? Doesn't make sense. How can you lose someone who loved his friends so much? I mean, on the groups, the guys posted pictures, and I think someone prior to me said the same thing, that you'd never see Mr. M, when I call you Mr. M because you're not, but yeah. And sorry, Graham, and I know you guys how much hate Mr. But he loved his friends, he loved his colleagues, he loved his job so much. But most of all, he lived for his family. I remember when he came to, I think Alpine Heath was one of the last resorts he came to in December, and he came with his family. And as HP does, he calls in the office, and he called me, and I said, come in, Abel, come in. And he asked me, he said, how are you doing? Then me being me, I started talking about business. I said, no, hey, we're still working hard. I speak to Ms. Nell all the time, but all these, it's like, no, I don't ask you that. How are you doing? Abel said, don't tell me about how the business is doing. How are you doing? And I think something which is amazing, which I took on even to my team as years, I've been doing this 26 years, but it's very rare to see a leader who goes beyond, before even asking about how the business is doing, like we all do, all of us do the same thing. When you say, how are you doing, we're asking, how's the business doing? But he really said, listen, wait. And I'll never forget one thing which he said to me. He said, Abel, remember, you don't live with your family here on the property. He said, at AHA, we do not separate families. At AHA, we do not separate families. Why? Why does this passing not make sense? Why? Why do the good people always go first? Why? Why do we lose someone who gave so much of himself to others? A kind soul. Not pretentious. He wasn't behaving, he wasn't acting. It was part of his DNA. Over time, I got to understand our role in this world is not to question God or the universe on what happens in life. God can see things. He sees things. He knows our journey before we're even born. We don't question those things. We don't ask why and how. It took me time to get to the point where when I lost my mom, it says, I'm not going to question why. I'm going to question how. That is not my job. My biggest and our biggest job right now is to embrace the time that we had with HP. Our time, our job is to cherish the moments we had with HP. HP had a capability of making you feel welcome like you've been with AHA for so long. You know, when I started, and I speak to my wife all the time, and I said to her, baby, you can't believe it. I got an email from the CEO, Graham. Oh, I can't believe I got an email from the COO. Doesn't happen in corporations. Like I say, I've done it 26 years. Very rare. HP engaged even the lowest person in the company. And he treated them like superstars. I'll never forget when he came to Alpine, he said, Abe, he should call me Abe. Abe, come, walk with me. Then he went to the back, housekeeping. He's like, hey, Joyce, housekeeping lady. Yesterday, we were driving, we were planning our Valentine's event, and I took my team. So on our way back, Buyani Hatebe, one of my guys at Alpine Heath, when we were talking, and I said to him, yes, man, HP, still can't believe it. And he said to me, Msonkwena, we lost a soldier in the industry. We lost a soldier in the industry. And that is a person who doesn't engage with HP all the time. But he saw those qualities. And for someone to call you a soldier, that means that person they'll go to war with you. His passion for the hospitality game, his commitment in pulling out the best out of his team made a difference in words alone, which cannot convey. Everyone spoke about his morning message in our WhatsApp group, his morning messages that he sent us, line messages. I think all of us can attest and say we're going to miss those things. Just one last story. I remember in December, our Penny, when he came, so I went to his chalet to check up on him, and he wasn't there. He got there and he quickly went to the pool. And then I found his daughter. She's like, hey, are you able? HP's talking about you all the time. I said, okay, thank you. I said, where's he? He said, no, he's gone. So I went to the pool. And when I got the pool, and Mr. M, the first thing he saw me is that, hey, how are you? He said, yo, Auntie, show you my lion tattoo. I said, Jesus. I said, white people. Hey. He said, Mr. M. I said, hey, what I said to Mr. M? And and he was so excited, he was so happy, he was glowing. You know, when he showed me that, I said, you have to see this. And I said to him, Mr. M, I hope you don't think I'm not getting a tattoo. I'm not getting a tattoo, yeah? He said, no. In closing, I would like to say to each and every single person in this room right now, and I want everyone to listen to me right now. Let us be vigilant in supporting each other. Let us be vigilant in supporting one another. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mhlabunezwi Joseph Mgobozi, General Manager at AHA Gateway Hotel in Mhlanga. So when you see me pulling my stomach in, it will be HP standing next to me. He would come to me and say, hey, push it down, push it down, push it down. So when you see me doing that, it's HP standing next to me, it's his spirit. When you see me pushing my chest out, you must know it's him. Let's come, stand in the foyer, and let's be tall and sing. How can I be tall? So, but it's fine, it's fine. When I talk bravely and not being intimidated by anything next to me, it's because I feel HP spirit standing next to me. So I'm feeling tall. I'm not short. As I said, good afternoon, everybody. I would like to greet everyone. I would like to thank all our colleagues that made it to come here. I would like to thank all our executives that made this to happen. I would like to thank family of our friend, HP Hans-Peter Merensky. He would kill you when you call him that. He would say HP, not Hans-Peter. No. Yeah. And I would like to thank his family, that's Rebecca, Aaron, and Leah, for this opportunity of making us meet and know this gentleman. And also I would like to thank all other colleagues from all different spheres of life that have interacted with HP in his walk of life. Everybody has spoken about how HP is. And now, standing here, and Demande has mentioned, when I first introduced myself to him, as I said, my name is Mhlabunezwi, I called myself Mhlabunezwi to him. And he said, what? I said, Mhlabunezwi. And he wanted to know what it meant. From that day, he would even end his emails or when he greets me to say, Mhlabo, you've got it in you. And that is him. We called him Langwane because that comes from the long one. We call him in Julamiti, that's a giraffe. We call him all the names or nicknames that was describing him as a tall person. Not only as a tall person in his physical build, also as a tall person because of how he looks far in the future. When he talks to you, he doesn't talk about now. He talks about the future. That's why we were calling him Indlulamiti. I was calling him Mpinchi. When he talks to me, hello Mpinchi. There was a song before, an artist that said Mpinchi Yam. So I called him Mpinchi Yam, which means Umgani Wam. I started knowing HP 28 years ago. We were a group of little employees to be developed, and we happened to be together with HP Merensky. I got a shock of my life because I was working in Mhlanga, he was working somewhere around Durban. When we met to submit our homework, I nearly took mine back because I was in his group. I looked at his, the way it was binded and everything, and I looked at it and the table of contents, and I said, what? He said, you know what? In life, you've got one chance to do it right the first time. Because the cost of correction is too costly. Do it right. I said, now what must I do? Submit this or leave it? He said, the choice is yours. You chose to do this, to submit. So it's yours, sir. I said, okay. He said, but believe me, the next one will never be like the one that we have submitted. And from that day, I've never tried by all means to do anything that HP said, hey, don't regret. When then we met, we submitted that, and then we separated. We went, and on that time, there was boot camp. We went for 10-pin bowling. Oh, my God, I was also in his team. He would, hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. Your energy, where is it? I said, okay. And then from there, we went to do cricket, and still the same. And we did the revenue training together at some stage by one guy from Europe. Oh, my God. It was like we never slept. As Andrew has said, we never slept. He said to me, you can't sleep. You can't sleep. So I want to talk about HP as a friend. He was a friend. In 2022, HP called and said, you would like to meet me, Mtimande, and Sbu so that we take a photo. And we did. We have that photo together. Because we worked together in one company at some stage, all four of us. And then in 2023, he called. Unfortunately, at that time, Sbu had gone to Alpine, and it was me and Mtimande that were around. He said, no, we're not going to take it until the four of us are together. Last year, he called me 3 months in advance to say, please make sure we repeat the photo that we took in 2022. And it's there. People will see it. That's HP for you. That's HP for you. And we took it, and he was celebrating, and the lion, when I was moved to Emalahleni at some stage in 2011, I was put under HP as my mentor. He called me and he said, boy, you can't run away from me. Where I was working, I was reporting to him. When he left, I took over his position. And then he said, but you can't run away from me. Now that you are here, and I'm going to make you a lion. He sent me the video of 3 lions. And he said, these lions, don't leave each other. Don't let each other down. Please be like that. Always remember that I'm by your side. Always remember that you need to be by my side. Never forget people that you met in your life. And as they've said, HP as a family man, he's always been saying to me, love your family, Joe. Be a family man. HP has been a lion. And not even a single person here does not know that whenever HP hears you talking a certain language, he will want to know what it means. He had the ability to connect with everybody. HP will call me and say, let's talk about your performance. But you must remember, we are not driving occupancy. We're driving revenue. And I said, oh, HP, you've been telling me this all the time. He said, yes, Joe, don't forget. I know you got it in you. Standing here, I never thought that I was going to come and stand here and talk about HP. I never thought, because I've been crying most of the time when this thing was coming into my mind. I don't think any person in this room ever thought that there would be a tribute about the lion leader that is HP. I know each and every quote at the end of his email ends with a positive note. Every time when he calls you, it makes you feel like you are as tall as he is. As I'm standing here, I feel him next to me. I'm very tall, HP. And I feel your presence. And he will talk to you and say, never give up. There is never an end to anything. If you want it, go for it. If you want to do it, do it. And I would never forget when we met the last time, last year, we were walking with Mtimande. And then he said, Joe, I said, why are you calling me Joe? Am I ever done something wrong? Because this time he didn't call me Mhlabo. He said, call me Joe. He said, yes. I said, what? He said, I can now see that you and Mtimande are not coffee drinkers. Because this coffee that you have here is not the right coffee. And I said, yeah, you're right. In Penguiting, sir, we don't have the right coffee today, but we do have it one in the restaurant. So people that talk about food, I'm coming from the same family with him. He used to say to me, how do you do it that you eat and you don't become like big? What do you do it? The only time that I didn't like HP was when we were going to the gym together. He will analyze this treadmill, Joe. If you ride on this speed and this gradient, these are the calories it will burn. And if you do that in the next 10 days, this is how you will achieve. But anyway, am I talking to you about this? Why am I talking to you? Because you are a teetotaler. What is that? It's someone that doesn't drink and doesn't smoke. Okay. So, as sad as we are, I know we all have lost a hero. We all have lost HP. And when I heard about his death, I started thinking about it. The previous day, that was a Thursday, I was walking at the mall, and I met a gentleman. This gentleman is now 79 years old. He said to me, good afternoon, I remember you. You worked somewhere with HP, and we worked with Dennis Stapleton. And where is HP and Rebecca? That was Thursday the 16th at 3:30. I think I engaged in a phone call with Demandants where I said, hey, I've just met someone who is reminding me of olden days. I think today I'm going to call HP tonight. And then we chat, but I didn't. In the morning when I woke up on Friday, I went to the gym. As I started riding the treadmill, and someone called me and said, you what? You won't believe. You said you were going to call him, and you didn't. He's no longer. This is the man that loved his family. He loved Rebecca, he loved Aaron, he loved Leah. I know each and everything about them. And he used to tell me everything about school, about horses, and everything that he was doing, that he wanted me to do. And he will say to me, Joe, this is not you. This is not the quality that you know. Please, make sure that this is quality. While we are celebrating him, while we are all mourning, it's not easy. But I know the spirit of HP will live amongst us to be lions. As he always said, that I would rather be a lion for one day than being a sheep for 100 days or 100 years. That's HP for you. He used to make each and every person feel like he was intelligent. He loved stats. He will break them down and make you feel like, oh, no, it is correct. And he will correct it for you without making you feel small. That's HP. He will make his energy, he will make sure that it goes into you. I can say a lot about HP. I can stand there and talk. As I'm saying, I've known him for 28 years, and we've been keeping in touch all this time, and also the lives he has changed. That man changed a lot of lives through his energy, through his passion, and his aura and demeanor is here with us. I can feel it. And Andrew was trying to say, let us feel strong. It's not easy. But one thing I know that it has happened. I'm now a lion. When you hear me roar, it's a lion. That is HP giving instruction in his leadership. When you hear me whisper, it's still a lion now giving instructions to the cubs to how to guide, how to make them do hunting on their own, how to make them independent. So the lion spirit of HP will live forever. No, brother, we know. May then the Almighty, may the Almighty look after him, cleanses him, all his imperfections, all his impurities. Like all of us, we have our own, others more and others less. Rest in peace, the lion leader. Fwetu, Pinchiami, Langwane, Juramiti, the long one. I thank you.
Thank you. HP was always interested in learning new languages. We spent some time trying to pronounce my name, Noxolo. Graham said the other day, Noxy, you give people a nickname and they still shorten it further to Nox. And I said, it is what it is. HP used to call himself Undabezitha. And I used to say, Ndabezitha, sir, how are you? He was a very interesting character. I will now call upon two of our staff members, Karim Quadri from Alpine Heath Resort and Mike Mfisa from Lesedi Cultural Village.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Mfisa from Lesedi Cultural Village. I would like to start by thanking the family and the company for giving us an opportunity to come and say a few words on behalf of the staff. We are really grateful that we had an opportunity to work with a leader like Mr. HP. I remember on the 16th, on the 17th, when we received the news that he has passed on. The first thing that I said was Ish, now who's going to send us those codes in the morning? Because that's what we enjoyed about his emails and the encouraging words. You know, as one of the speakers said, he engaged with everybody. It didn't matter if you are a senior member or a junior staff. That's what we enjoyed about him. The other thing was his way of appreciating. If you have done something right, he will say to you, thank you for what you've done. And it gave us, you know, it encouraged us to do better as the staff, to say, you know what, if he can come to me at my level, it encourages me to do better. So we'll really miss that. To the friends and families, what you can take from HP is his teachings and the memories that you shared with him. Continue his legacy by sharing his teachings and values to inspire future leaders. As we mentioned that he was the best. We wish to be at his level as well. We are really saddened by his passing. To the family, you didn't lose as the family only, but as the staff from different properties. To everyone, please find comfort in the Lord. As I heard that he believed in God Almighty. And I would like to quote from the book of Isaiah 66, verse 13, where God promises us that as a mother comforts her son, so will I comfort you. And he promised that we will be comforted. I thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to say a very thank you to the leadership at Alpine Heath and also Top Vest and her accommodation as a whole for giving me this opportunity to pay my last respect to HP. My name is Karim, and I'm Guest Relations and Entertainment Manager at Alpine Heath. The book of Ephesians chapter 5 summarizes that we should live each day as if it were our last. And one day, we will be right. And also in the words of Abraham Lincoln, which says, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, is the life in your years. When this sad event happened, and I was told on Friday, I broke down. And I had an appointment with my GM, Ebo Mokwena, to go to the village for some CSI event, and I called him, and I'm sorry, I just broke down and cried, and I couldn't make it. And he gave me the day off because I was a mess. As we've gathered here today to celebrate the life of an extraordinary individual, our dear friend and mentor, HP, it's hard to find the right words to express the profound sense of loss we all feel. He was more than just a boss, he was a guiding light, a source of inspiration, and a true leader in every sense of the word. From the moment he stepped into our lives, it was clear that he possessed a rare combination of vision and compassion. HP does not patronize you, as he genuinely cares. He listens and he provides solution to your plight. HP had a remarkable ability to see potential where others saw obstacles, and his unwavering support made it possible for so many of us to grow both personally and professionally. He believed in us often more than we believed in ourselves. I remember the countless times he would take moments from his busy schedule to listen and re-listen to our ideas, concerns, and dreams. His door was always open, and his patience was endless. HP had a unique way of making everyone feel valued and understood. He taught us that success isn't just measured in numbers of accolades, but in the relationships we build and the lives we touch. HP has touched many lives. I am a living testimony. So for the past 6 or 7 years, HP has made Alpine Heath his holiday destination. Every December he will come. And he tells me, him and his wife, that, Karim, you are the reason why we come here. And I thought, he tells everybody the same thing. He just wants to make you feel special. And then he will look for something that you love to connect with you. For me and him, it was table tennis. He will call me from time to time and say, hey, Karim, where are you? Come, let's play. Then sometimes if I'm busy, I will tell him, okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and I'll kind of delegate and go play with him. And then sometimes he beats me, but sometimes I make him win. Because you cannot beat your boss at all times. So the last time, it was draw. So I hope till we meet again on the other side. I don't know if they play table tennis at the other side. So then he said, can you see my lion tattoo? I'm going to beat you today. This is, so, yeah, and he cared deeply. He does not patronize you. He will listen to you. Like the last time he came, then he said, Karim, you have lost weight. Are you fine? And I'm like, before you leave, we will talk. I'm fine, but before we leave, we will talk. Then he sat with me for close to an hour. I mean, I'm like almost 6 tires below him. And he took the time to listen to my stories. He devoted time. It doesn't matter if he's dealing with the CEO or CFO or a cleaner. He will listen sincerely. He takes pride in the little things. He had talent for making every gathering feel special. Every moment in his presence was always refreshing. As we reflect on his legacy, let us remember the values he instilled in us: integrity, hard work, respect, tenacity, and kindness. HP taught us that true leadership is about serving others and lifting them up. In his honor, let us carry forward a spirit of generosity and dedication. I always discuss with my wife about HP, how blessed and how lucky I am to have such a boss. because from time to time, I think it's because of his character, I've grown to love him very much, and I want to learn from him. He's actually my mentor. And then on Friday, when my wife called me and I just broke down, and she said, "What happened?" I just started crying. I'm like, "We've lost HP." The first thing she said is, "You did not cry when my mom died." And I'm like, "What? I'm telling you I've lost somebody. What are you talking about?" Then he said, "No, I understand. I know how much you loved him." I almost got myself in trouble there. As we reflect on his legacy, let us remember the values he instilled in us. While today we mourn the loss of an incredible leader, let us also celebrate the many ways he has enriched our lives. HP may no longer be with us in body, but his influence will forever remain in our hearts and actions. I would like to round up with the wise words of Maya Angelou, who says, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. They will never forget how you made them feel." Let me take it again. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. They will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you, HP, for everything. You will be deeply missed, but never forgotten. Rest in peace, HP. Thank you.
I will now call a representative from Tuavest. I will call on our group chief executive, Mr. Lubengo Neswiswi, to come forward.
I had limited interactions with HP, but when I was listening to some of the speakers here, and then I got angry. I got angry at God. I know you asked why, but I got angry to say, HP, from what people have said, it was an embodiment of what TOVE stands for. And yet, and I'm looking at the leadership here in front of me to say, that message was never conveyed to us while HP was alive, which is something that we have to look and reflect at Mseketsi going forward in terms of our leadership. Because I looked at it and said, you know what, everyone has talked and everyone was touched by HP. I was touched by HP sitting right there next to HP's sister Michelle. And then I said, I wonder what would have happened if I'd been working at AHA. And in the same time, I went and tried to see what would be the code that reflect what everyone has been saying about HP. And when you call HP Ndabezitha, what they don't know, it's a phrase normally used to describe, or is normally used for the king. So Ndabezitha is for the king. So when you call Ndabezitha, it meant something. It meant all those things that people were saying. A leader, a person who had a vision for the division that he was working in. And for me, when I looked at that, I said, you know what, God, sometimes you leave bad people and take good people. I don't know why. But it is your will, which we don't really appreciate, but it is what it is. And the code that I found, because I think this code resembled on both sides, which was on the HP side and also on the people that have been touched by HP, is the Martin Luther King Jr., where a quote goes as follows: do not allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel you count, that you have worth, and that your life has ultimate significance. And when I looked at this quote, I said, everyone who was here was touched by HP. When I checked on the website and when I also looked at the messages that people were talking about, him being courageous, and he's a lion, obviously, and then we all know that the lion is very courageous, can face any challenge and take it head on. And when we look at these things, and then we look, he was inspiring people, he was dedicated to his work. And then I said, you know what, that quote for me really resembled what HP stood for from what I've heard and from the interaction that I've had. HP was really a committed family man. And when you look at how death has robbed his two daughters an opportunity to grow up and have a father, and hopefully being a grandfather at one stage, that really even gets me even angry, because it is sad, and we all know that being a father and being a father to girls, and HP was also father to girls, they need their father guidance, especially in the world that we live in today. And it is sad that they won't have, but I believe, Graham, you've been very close to the family and you provided that guidance, and we thank you from TOVE's point of view for interacting with the family during this time. If you look at, when I was listening this thing that HP is a family man, and then I said, what did TOVES stand for? TOVES, we launched a very interesting project, which was one project, or one TOVES. And this TOVES project was talking about diversity, inclusivity, and more importantly, making people feel at home while they are at TOVEST. And I said, this is what HP was actually standing for. And I didn't know at the time that the executives and I were launching this thing, that we've got an employee who actually doesn't really put it on a piece of paper like we have as executives, but was living it. And for us, I think it's very important to reflect within ourselves to say, how many HPs do we have and how can we become the HP that HP is? Because HP is no longer here, but from what I've heard, Joseph, when you're talking about HP, on Monday, when he's talking about HP, and then I realized, this was also home because you guys come back 20 years ago, so Graham, we must check if recruitment fees were paid here, because this
But again, this is a symbol that tells you and that HP, people followed him. He worked with these guys for 20 years, 26 years ago, but when he moved to Tovest, they followed him to Tovest. And we're really happy that you joined him, because what I've seen from the interaction with you, I think you have learned a lot from HP. And from the staff, when we talk Karim, when you're talking about how HP touched you, and you talk about, HP, you not being at the executive level, you are 6 levels below, and then HP is touching you, but he's having time to talk to you. And for me was, how many of us here, including myself, who dedicate that time to talk to the person who's 6 levels below? And if there's anything that we need to learn from HP, is to say, you know what, you must respect others. And it was quite clear that that message, HP carried it with him. Within the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks before HP passed away, I was engaging with Msekezi in terms of accommodation and everything, and then got to know more about HP, because HP and Msekezi, now and then they would exchange messages. And for me, that was, unfortunately, I was robbed of an opportunity to meet the man that today, when we sit here and celebrate, and I'm saying, as leadership, we've got employees of the year and CEO's choice of employees, and why HP was never given that award in my time that I was here. And then I'm saying that's wrong, because when you've got an employee who touches every single soul from the lowest level to the executives, I think for me, that's the dream Tovest that I wanted. As a CEO, I wanted the executives to have that ability to be able to engage with staff at all levels, and HP is a reflection of that. Unfortunately for us, when we stand here as an organization and we're celebrating HP when he's passed away, I think it's what life is, but we're also learning now to say we need to celebrate our staff while they're still here, because that's very important for us, to celebrate the staff while they're here and carry them or carry their legacy forward. So, from the family, we just want to say, you're not the only one who had lost HP. It's clear you've heard he was family. Tovest was his family too, and we feel the loss. And for me and my interaction that I also had with him in one of the projects that was close to my heart, it's only now that I know that it was also close to HP's heart, was staff accommodation. HP was tasked by Graham to look and make sure that we create better staff accommodation, and he was really working hard on that particular project. He went all out, got the codes, did everything. We were just in the phase of implementation. We delayed it a little bit because I wanted certain things. But when I listened to this thing, I said, you know what? Actually, HP was not doing it because there was an instruction from head office or instruction from Graham. He was doing it because it was closer to his heart. And for me, that's what I'm really proud of. And I'm sad because I didn't get to know HP in that part. Andrew, when he was sending some of the texts, maybe it was in the meetings that I was in. And then, but that I know about HP, because when we had those meetings, it was quite clear. He was not afraid to express his view. That part was quite clear. Whether I liked it or not didn't matter to him, as long as he shared his view. And it gave us sometimes an opportunity to reflect and delay certain things that I would be creating pressure from the executives to say, I want this thing done, and then but by him expressing his view, and it gave me an opportunity to reflect, and also we discuss it at the next exco, until we were all aligned. And then now I'm listening to the guy says, maybe it was his tactic. If he didn't like something, he expresses his view, and then he allows us the opportunity to reflect. We normally had them monthly, and then we've got a month to reflect and engage in that particular things. But for me, that's what HP, and that's what I want our employees here to really reflect. If anything, I'm saying we have to do something to remember HP, because you have had it. I'm sitting here, but I've heard it, and I was touched when I was sitting there. I said, I can't even get, if it was me who was here, I don't think I was going to get those messages about the touching the lives of the way HP has touched people, the way HP has engaged. I mean, I think Bongani, you were calling him, was in Davezit or Kabezela? Kabezela was in Davezit in Cape Town. That's when I was hearing the first time it being called Davezit. And I'm thinking, You know, it's a very prestigious title reserved for the king. And here's Bongani and Knox calling the visitor to a white guy. I mean, it was a little bit confusing for me. But when I sit here and listen, and I said, you know what? He was a true king for AHA. He was a proper king because he had the interests of his people at heart. And what is the king for? The king's job is to have the interests of people at heart and to help people that they lead to advance. And that's what I've seen. I mean, I've read some of the quotes, and for people who have interacted with HP outside Toves, and they've shared the same thing. You know, someone was talking about when he was really low, and HP lift them up and, you know, made them go and go stronger. It said that in the last moment, we were not there for HP to lift him up and make sure that he goes stronger. And that's what it is. But at the same time, we also have to accept, Abel, that maybe it's God's will, that it was time. He had saved, our chef told us that, you know, he believes that when you've saved your purpose in life, it's time to go for the next adventure in life. And I think that's what happened to HP. And I just want to take this opportunity to say, you know, thank you for everyone who's here, for everyone who's taken time to come here and to really witness this memorial service for HP. For Toves, it's sad because, you know, you don't want to be an executive and you also lose an active executive at the same time. This is the first time that this has happened from a Toves point of view. But you know what? We have soldiered on because someone talked about him saying somebody's a soldier. That guy, you can go with him to war. And now we've soldiered on. And from HP's point of view, I think we need to carry out his legacy and make sure that the remaining leadership, please, if there's one thing that you've learned, as much as you had close relationship with HP, have the same relationship that HP had with the lower people. And do not discriminate against the levels of your staff. Relate to everyone equally, because that's the message that HP embodied. And that's the message that I have been trying to preach, to say, you know, we must relate to everyone. If I had known that HP embodied that message, it would have been definitely an ambassador. And I'm putting a challenge to here to say that if we know such people, we want them to come forward so that they become an ambassador of this message. Because for me, in the memory of HP, we must let those leaders come up and then we must celebrate them and we must encourage everyone. And then I just want to say thank you, Graham. Well done for making sure that the family knew that Toves is there, but I also know that you had a very close relationship with HP, and for you, it's not just a loss of a colleague, it's a loss of a friend, a bigger brother, and all those things. So we really appreciate, and to Mseketsi, Noxi, James, and Bongane, and Javi, who I know that they were really working together in this process. From a Toves point of view, we thank you, and we hope that whenever we've come across this bereavement, we also treat them the same way from a Toves point of view, so that we, but I want to take a caveat here to say, you know, we will treat them the same way, provided that the people that carries the same characteristics as HP. Because when you sit here and you've got HP, who, I mean, I was still touched, you know, I don't know, I mean, I'm still touched about what everyone was saying, because there was consistency in the message. And some of you used the example of your life experiences, because life experiences tell the story. It's not the speech that you write and all those things, because in the process of when I was asked by Mseka, I said, I don't know HP, I must write a speech. Then I thought I was going to write, but I was going to talk lots of things that did not exist. So I chose to listen, and then when I listen, then I understand who HP was and come here and talk of HP. But HP is a Ngala, Andy, you can see. He was in between the Ngalas there, and he survived the Ngalas. And he had a Ngala in his shoulder. And we hope that that Ngala comes back here and guides us. The spirit of a lion must continue and must continue positively. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To our AHA team, it has been a very eventful start of the year. I do hope that this does not reflect on what the year is to be. I urge each and every one of you to take HP's lessons. We know what HP stood for. Let us be strong and courageous. Let us do what we do best. And thank you. I will now call on Tabisa Mazibugo to come close for us in prayer.
Let us bow our hands and pray. Dear God, we're seeking for healing. Some days we'll feel like we're not making any progress on our healing journey. We know that you will be with us. We know that you will heal our desires and heal our hearts. We understand every day won't be good. We pray, we know that we will have our ups and downs, but as long as you are on our side, we will be okay. The enemy can be trying by all means to attack us with bad memories and bad things, but we pray for healing even in this instance. You have never turned your back on us, and we trust you, and you won't ever. Thank you for being a dependent God. Show us and heal us in this healing journey. We trust this in your name alone. Amen.
I walked 1,000 sorry miles to wait for my Father to gather up his tools.
Just announcements. We know how much HP loved food. We have prepared refreshments that are stationed there at the back. We ask you to grab a bite, and yeah, thank you.
I walked 1,000 sorry miles to wait for my Father to gather up his tools. He said, my boy, you gotta run. Don't wait for me, don't wait for mom. He'll come get you when it's safe for us to move. So I waited many years, held back the pain behind my tears, for my Father to come find me like he said. And in that time I was alone, so many years without my own. I made brothers of a different kind instead. And at the time I didn't know just how hard the wind could blow towards disaster and the things that I would see. I never found my father, I never found my mother either, but I know in my lifetime I will be a hero to the masses, to those born without chances. There's a freedom that everyone deserves. I know there's greed and there's corruption, I've seen death and mass destruction, but I'm telling you, and I hope that I am heard, I will not be commanded, I will not be controlled, and I will not let my future go on without the help of my soul. I will not be commanded, I will not be controlled, and I will not let my future go on without the help of my soul. I will not be commanded. I will not be controlled. And I will not let my future go on without the help of my soul. I will not be commanded. I will not be controlled. And I will not let my future go on without the help of my soul.
Driving home with the radio on, got tuned to the loneliest station I know, getting low. Where'd we go wrong? And don't just see, I feel the autumn wind chill with the top down, sinking in a roll Bonneville, driving home. Yeah, but where'd we go wrong? And can't you see? So I bend a little